All right. Welcome to the first ever sunny days at the Racetrack Hockey Show.
Yep.
I'm Mark,
I'm Anthony. What's up, guys?
and we're going to be your host for this show. First ever show. It's a new year and a new podcast. So let's get right to it. All right. So we're going to go over the last three games of 2023, and we're going to have to, unfortunately, start off with the game against Schittsburg at home. If you guys don't already know now, I love to say Schittsburg. I don't ever say Pittsburgh, ever. Fuck them, that's why. All right. So, Schittsburg embarrasses us at home. Okay? This is an absolutely awful fucking game. Our defense... Yeah, 7-0. So, our defense has absolutely no second efforts this game. We gave them way too much time and space. Left Sorokin out to dry way too many times. And then to top it all off, we bring in Varlamov, and he gets injured. So it's just awful all the way around.
Hey, that's why they brought up Appleby on against the Cats next.
Yeah, that's why he was brought up. Yep. And
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, and the absolutely only positive thing about that game is the fact that the fourth line was the only line that had no minuses. They finished off at 0. Everybody else had a minus. It was a historic
line, though.
Yeah, it was a historic night, though. Letang got 5 points in a period, and he was the first defenseman to ever do that in NHL history. So that was definitely – it's a night to remember, but not in a good way, especially for us. I don't know about you, Anthony, but that one's going to sting for a while.
Yeah, that one sucks, especially because we lost them like 2 times in the same week, and they're in our same division.
Yeah, there's points.
4 points, man. It's 4 points. So
yeah, that's points we definitely need. Yeah, that's points we need.
So it hurts.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that we want to forget, but we got to keep in the back of our mind, especially the players, because we're hoping that we get revenge on them in the coming games in 2024. But yeah, awful fucking game. Not really anything positive besides.
No, it wasn't even close.
Clutter, Martin.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, besides Clutter, it's not Martin. Cizikas and Fashing just not having a minus. All right.
Sucks, man.
So next game, we finally
bounce back. I got to bounce back with the
rebound against the Caps. Rebound
5-1, man. I mean, it should have been 5-0, but they scored like 19 seconds left.
Yeah, well,
I wanted to see that shutout with Sorokin, and that would have been nice.
Yeah, so honestly, I don't.
Soft goal, man. He let up. Soft goal.
He was trying to clear the. He was trying. No, he was trying.
He tried to clear it. It goes right through the.
He tried to clear it. He probably should have just put the glove down and froze the play, but he was electing to try to clear it with the stick, and he just completely whiffed on it. Pretty embarrassing. But that's all on him at that point. You know what I mean? So.
No, that game looks sick, man.
Let's start with the first period. So that game itself, we definitely came out strong, had lots of offensive zone pressure. And the most important thing besides having all that pressure was the fact that we didn't give the Caps any time and space.
Nothing was fast hockey that whole game. Fast.
Yeah, it was fast-paced hockey.
In their zone. It was nice, bro. It was nice to see, especially when you're coming off a 7-0 loss, man.
Yeah, we needed to come out hard. But that was the thing against the Pens. We gave them way too much time and space. It looked like they were on a power play all the time. They had a lot of sustained offensive zone pressure. And this time against the Caps, we did not give that time and space. We kept it to a minimum, kept their chances to a minimum. We were pretty much all over them to start. And that was the most important thing because Sorokin was left out to dry way too much.
Wait, they were doing that bullshit, like just dumping the puck, icing it, dumping the puck, icing it. And most of the game, you're just watching Pens just take faceoffs.
Yeah, that's really what it was.
It just sucks, man, and especially because losing them twice in the same week, and the standings are so close.
Yeah, and in this game against the Caps, though, we definitely bounced back, especially starting in the first. We gave Sorokin the chances to make the saves. And we
didn't let the drive,
which is good. So
JCB looks sick.
Yeah, so that's the thing I would love to discuss now. So
He looked sick.
The third line stole the show that game. The third line magic. That's what we're
Holstrom's been looking good for the past week or two. He's been looking good. Some guys been ragging on him, but I think he's pretty good. But JCB and Gauthier, man.
Oh yeah, that line is awesome. Their speed is fantastic.
Yeah.
But Pajot starts it off. He's got a snipe.
Yeah.
And Dobson is really the one that created that opportunity.
He set that up.
It's not even that. He split the D. He came forward. They're looking for him. Pajot had an opening. He took it.
He's good,
ready
man.
He was ready for that pass, and it was really all starting off at that breakout from the blue line. They were ready for. He was ready for it, and he knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good, man. Dobson's good, and he plays the puck too. So
Dobson's great,
and he knows what he's doing, man. Even though he's a defenseman, but he plays with the puck. He's not afraid to shoot it. So when he passed it up, he didn't get a point from it or an assist or anything, but he set that whole thing up. And then Gauthier came back with 2 goals in 18 seconds.
Yeah. So he came back and he scored. That was for the third and fourth goal, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But he looked great. Their speed is phenomenal. And the thing about that, I mean, you also have Pajot that came in and he got 4 points. And his last goal, the 5th goal of the game, to me was the goal of the night. I mean, it was a weird assist.
Scored the second goal. I think it was JCB, Dobson, Gauthier, and then it was Pajot again.
Yeah, Pajot scored the 5th goal. Yeah. So the thing with that, Holstrom got the assist on it, but it was just a weird bounce. It went off the skates of the Capitals.
Yeah.
And Pajot was right there, and he took it all by himself, broke through the D, and he looked great. He looked great. He is a monster. He's a consistent guy. He does all the small things right. Put him anywhere. He's a fucking spark plug. You can put him on power play, put him on penalty kill. He's going to do what he has to do. So yeah, I mean, the game was phenomenal. Everybody played great. The fourth line was
that was the whole start of the game, man.
The third line was definitely what stood out, but Horvat also played well. First line was pretty good.
Nelson looked a little shot. Nelson didn't look as good. I don't know. Took some weak shots on net. Nothing crazy. Tried to a wraparound.
Yeah, I mean, he's still our number one goal scorer.
Yeah.
So we can only expect so much from a guy to do every night.
Good.
But this was definitely a night where everybody kind of shined and they did well. But the third line
fed off each other.
The third line was great. So at this point, I mean, if I'm Lane Lambert, right, Gauthier has been in and out of the lineup.
Keep him in.
You got to keep him in. You can't. I mean, I think not even with the game against the Capitals. I think he's proved himself even before that. I mean, with the way he plays, that's the kind of guy we need. We need some speed, and he completes that third line. So if I'm him, it's a no-brainer. That line has to be going every night. That's got to go. So, which was pretty much the Nelson, Palmieri, and Engvall line, which was that was the go-to line as of recent, at least not until recently, where they healthy scratched them for the last game of the year, which we will now get into. It was a disappointment to end the new year.
Oh yeah, it sucks. Another loss.
Another loss to Schittsburg. I don't care who we lose to. If it's Schittsburg, it's 10 times worse.
I don't know.
It
could have been closer than it was.
It definitely. We didn't look bad. That was the thing. We definitely didn't.
Penalty kill looked good. I mean, it's been good all year, but penalty kill looked good. I think it was Ciziquez, Dobson. I usually penalty kill. They look good. Especially they had a 5-on-3 for a minute.
Yeah,
with freaking Crosby sniping on him, and they took it. Sorokin looked good on the penalty kill too. He wasn't frazzled. He was moving side to side, goalpost to goalpost. But
yeah, I mean,
it just doesn't work out all the time.
Yeah, it's we definitely played well. The thing that we did see right at the start of the game, which is a rarity, at least nowadays in the current NHL, was a fight to start the game. Ludwig and Martin dropped the gloves, and I know Martin was looking for that fight. He ended up saying that in the interview for the first period. he was saying that he was looking to get a little bit of revenge, kind of set the tone for the game. So he was looking, because I was wondering, I'm like, who was starting the fight
He's
there?
the
Was
bruiser,
it?
man.
Oh yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering who's starting the fight there, because I see Ludwig take off his gloves first. I'm wondering, all right, was he trying to go after Martin? I mean, you got a young guy, guy's 23 years old. Does he really want to go toe to toe with a guy like Martin? To me, I don't think that's a fucking great idea. Not very smart.
After Martin, I would expect like Mayfield
for it to fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be like Martin and Mayfield. After that, maybe Palmieri. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are the guys.
You're talking about guys that fight?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got a couple of guys that can bang, but Martin's our go-to. And then you got Clutterbuck, who's always ready to fight. Peugeot, who's always ready to fight. Yep. Peugeot's feisty. But yeah, I mean, I was very surprised to see a fight at the start of the game. I haven't seen that in quite a long time. And it was probably one of the easiest fights of Martin's career. I mean, he pretty much took him out of there real fast, and the refs came in. And
dude, the guy doesn't even wear a visor, man.
No, yeah, but you know, he's definitely my favorite player. But it was great to see him fight. Great to see him set that tone. So for this game, we had a lot of great chances on Nedeljkovic. Specifically Cizikas. Cizikas was actually the first big scoring chance for this game. And
Cizikas is good, man.
And it's good to have him back in the lineup. But he had that first big scoring chance. That fourth line really did a lot to set the pace after the Martin fight.
Martin took a few shots on that too, I saw.
Yeah, Martin was all over the place too. But Cizikas really put himself in a good position. Couldn't bury it. But then let's talk about the first goal against. So with that goal, it just kind of felt like similar to the first. Well, I guess it was the first game against the Pens this season. Sorokin was left out to dry. So Dobson goes down at the blue line, and then you got Romanov, who leaves his man, and
I like Romanov too, but I guess like a young mistake, man.
Yeah, young mistake. But at the same time, as the game went on, I'm wondering, why don't you let Sorokin cover that shot? I mean, you have to cover your man, but that shot's coming across. That pass is coming. You shouldn't be electing to go and go for that slide. It looked like a rookie move. I know he is young, but it just looked like they were trying to overcompensate for Sorokin for whatever reason. And he's
taking a lot of shots, man. It wasn't bad. Last game wasn't bad, man. But that first game, so I mean, when's the last time you saw Sorokin get pulled? You know what I mean? And
I mean,
30-something shots. I guess they're trying to. Maybe I guess they are overcompensating. They feel. I think they do feel bad. That guy is. With him and net, it feels good. So leaving him out to dry like that sucks.
Yeah, it was definitely rough. And then following that, I mean, Nedeljkovic, he's been pretty good all season. His numbers are great as a backup for Pittsburgh. I'm already going back on my word. But he's made some phenomenal saves to start that game. We actually, on our first power play of the game, we had some phenomenal chances on him. But in the Schittsburg fashion, he did some greasy shit. I'm sure a lot of the fans saw, and I know
the helmet.
Yeah, and I know that Butchie and Brendan were pointing it out. You see him going like this, trying to take that fucking helmet off, and he gets his head on the ice, and then finally takes it off to end that play. Now listen, he wasn't caught for it. It is what it is, but we had a really, really good chance there, and it was unfortunate that it was taken away because of that.
I think I've only seen that. I've seen it in the AHL, like you see that like as like top worst plays, like you or like you just kick the net out. Like,
it's grease bullshit, but I'm not surprised with tactics like that coming from Schittsburg. So I'm not really surprised. But after that period, I mean, not a bad period, right?
No, not a bad period. It's still a tight game. I'm surprised who scored though. Definitely surprised who scored for us.
Oh, we didn't score yet. After the first,
but
yeah, I mean, so going into the second, right? We're on that 5-on-3 kill now, right? And it was one of those kills we had to kill that penalty. We had to kill it.
Oh, for the
and we did it.
Tripping?
Yeah, starting for the second. Yep. And
it was on Horvath.
Our penalty
first,
kill
or,
Horvat was in the box, then Holmstrom was in the box.
And Holmstrom, but yeah.
Holmstrom would have made it 5-on-3. Yeah, so, but we made the kill, but it's one of those things that it's kind of flip-flopped for both teams. So the Penguins, their power play has been trash, but their penalty kill has been good. And our power play is almost the worst in the NHL. I think we're 30th or something on the penalty. I mean, the penalty kill.
Penalty kill, yeah, but our power play's been good though, man, this season.
Yeah,
and usually it's flip flopped.
That's what I'm saying. It flip flopped, and it's been like that for both teams. Historically, the Pens have had a good power play. So for us being able to kill that 5-on-3, I think is good. So
yeah, no, definitely definitely a booster.
Yeah, it's great, and it's something that kind of gets the team going. And I'm glad we didn't worsen those numbers. But it was a crucial kill. But then shortly after that, we got scored on. It was a redirect by I think I don't know how you say his name, Akari or Asari.
Yeah,
he redirects it on Sorokin. I mean, it was one of those things. I think positionally he should have had that save. I know it took that redirect, but I think he was there for it. I just I don't.
It was awkward. It was awkward.
It was an awkward goal.
I think even like Butch said, like that's something you want back.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely want it back. And then I mean, besides that, there was some small stuff that I noticed. I mean, it was an amateur too many men on the ice penalty that we took. Something that anybody.
They called a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of like weird shit. But the only real positive of that second period, besides the fact that it wasn't a horrible period, we're down 2-0, but we still we're putting a lot of pressure on Nedeljkovic. We just can't figure it out. We can't get a goal past them. But Nelson, that line had a lot of quality chances, and they look real good. And that was without Engvall. That was with Fasching moved up to that second line, and he didn't look out of place at all. I mean, he looked pretty good on that line. So it's nice to know that line.
He's a young kid, though, man. I think you kind of should expect that. But yeah, he looks good. He's feeding up Palmieri and Nelson. They both look good. I mean, I love Palmieri. And Nelson's our top guy right now with scoring. But yeah, no, he didn't really skip a beat.
No, I mean he looked he looked good there. He looked like he you can put him there, and it's good to know that if something happens to that line, you can throw him in there, whether it's Engvall, Palmieri, whatever. He could fit in there.
Engvall just feeds really well with Nelson. Like I like how those two work. I'm not shitting on Fasching, but like Engvall and Nelson, I feel like they kind of like meshed into like they're good. Like those two.
Yeah, I mean, especially the start of the season, they were dynamite.
Oh, I mean, Nelson was solid from the jump this season.
Oh yeah. So I mean, Brocktober is a thing. I don't care what anybody says. Brocktober is a thing. Yeah. I got a lot of people that don't say that's a thing, but they're not Islander fans. That's why.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird not seeing Engvall in there. I never thought that would be broken up. I get why he's sitting because of poor play and giving up the puck, and I don't know. It's just weird to me as a coach. I don't know if I'd be able to break up that line. I don't know if necessarily making him a healthy scratch solves the problem.
No.
Like I said, though,
we've seen a lot this season already with Lane, so.
Yeah, I mean,
so I guess we're just kind of, especially with the defensive side.
Yeah.
I think the only person we've had like this whole season play is like Romanov, like consistently. And Dobson.
I mean, the one thing I'll say about that is that the fact that Pelech and Pulock are both out. I know Pulock has just been named long term now. The only benefit of that is the fact that Romanov is getting first line minutes.
I think he deserves it. He looks pretty sick.
He looks great. I think that pair of Romanov and Dobson even though it was forced to be the first line pair, I think should continue to be the first line pair.
And I feel like it's good to have both Pulock and Pelech out because like they're boys. Like those guys are tight. So just having them out and just, I mean,
it allows the chemistry to develop.
Yeah, and like Riley and I mean, Riley's new to the team, so like I really can't like I don't know. He looks good though. Like he's an experienced player.
Yeah,
you know?
we got a lot of
experience too. Sebastian Aho's been with us for like Sebastian Aho's been with us
for Sebastian Aho. Yeah,
But Dobson,
not the Carolina.
No, but no, Dobson and Romanov look sick, man. Like, I mean, especially like, dude, both of them play the puck. Both of them are afraid to shoot. Dobson obviously shoots. I mean, he's one of our goal scorers. But Romanov plays the body, man. That guy plays it. You know, Mayfield's back.
Yeah, Mayfield coming back was good. I know
he's been on and off.
So. Yeah, Bortuzzo sat.
Which is expected. I mean, we just got him. I mean,
yeah, we just got him. He does have NHL experience, for sure. He's a veteran of the league. We remember him for a lot of dirty shit, not really anything positive. But listen, he's on our team now. We're gonna have to just fucking deal with it.
No, I mean, like I said, that's why we get guys like that.
Yeah,
and it's for these reasons, man. Especially with Pulock and Pelech out.
Yeah, we had to make those moves, and Lou was Johnny on the spot with that. Riley was definitely a good pickup.
Good pickup, yeah.
He's got a nose for the net for sure, and he looks good. I mean, he's got a lot to prove too. I mean, Riley has kind of just been, I don't know if it's misused or maybe they don't have room for him, whatever it is, but he really hasn't had a ton of playing time, NHL speaking. So him being able to get this opportunity, he's not going to take it for granted, and you can see it right away. I mean, the guy
was fast last night.
The guy has some speed for sure. I mean, that's why they were talking about it. Him taking Leddy's number of number 2. He knows Leddy. He's trying to do justice to that number. So that's why. I mean, I like him. I think he's good. He definitely fits what we need. We needed some fast. We need some speed, and having it on the defensive side is definitely good because he comes up on the rush, and we definitely need that.
And Aho's good, man. Aho's solid.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I think Romanov, with everything happening with the injury, Romanov is going to become an elite defenseman with all this time that he's getting.
And we said this. We said this last year too. We said this last year, and we said this with Fasching too at that Capitals game.
Yeah, Fasching is great. Fasching is great. He's another guy that needs more time, but he set the bar really high for himself coming in last season. Yeah. So he hasn't really met those expectations as of yet.
What do you think about the Wallstrom scratch?
If you're telling me I got to put in Gauthier or Wallstrom, I'm putting Gauthier every day. I mean, I feel like we've given Wallstrom a lot of chances, and it was always
3 or 4 years now he's been with us.
Yeah, so I think it's 3 years.
3 years?
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that hot playoff run like in 21, I think.
But the thing with that was always that Trotz was going with the veterans, and he wasn't. He was kind of hindering the youth. Okay, he's improved his play. He's supposed to improve his play. He had some chances to play this season, but it was kind of either him or Gauthier, and you got to run with Gauthier. I mean,
I'm sure he'll get. I'm sure he'll be on the ice, obviously. Again, I mean, when the scratch.
Yeah, I mean, they'll definitely put him in, but it's like, to me, who do you switch him out for? Unless you switch him out for Fasching, I don't see you switching him out for Gauthier. If I'm Lambert, I don't take out Gauthier.
Yeah, and Holstrom's good, bro. Holstrom's
and I don't take out Holstrom either. Holstrom is great. I mean, a lot of people
they don't shit on it, but they're just like, oh, like everybody's making a big deal of Holstrom. He looks good, dude.
Holstrom is good. Holstrom is good. I mean, is he scoring as much as everybody wants? No, but he has a great.
But JPG's looking. He's making up for that. I mean, I'm a Pajot guy. That's my guy. So.
Yeah, well, who do you got on your your jersey? There you go. You got him.
My boy. But yeah, dude, like that line looks good. The fourth line is seasoned. So
yeah, it's nice to have them all back too. Especially
Marty, for Cizikas and Clutty.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have them all back. This game they played hard.
If you think about it, that line's been together for like 10 years.
Been together for a while, but this season you haven't seen a lot of Martin with him being hurt.
Or Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck only had 3 minutes. After I think it was the first period, only 3 minutes ice time.
Yeah, but last game you got to remember he also played center because Cizikas was out, so he played center. So the line of him, Martin, and Fasching,
who else played center recently? I feel like we talked about it.
What do you mean?
That usually doesn't play center. I feel like
I think it's just Clutter that just played center recently. I don't know if anybody moved to the center.
That line you really don't have to worry about. Martin's been there forever.
Yeah. So, but Martin, as I love the guy, but we need a lot of fourth lines now. They're young and they got speed, and we don't have that.
No, that's more of our third line guy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, So continuing on with the rest of this game, we're down 2-0 going into the third. We can't figure out Nedovic. We can't. It's just he's looking too good, and it's rough. So going into the third, though, another strong chance right away from Cizikas. I mean, Cizikas at this point now has 3 quality scoring chances that should have been goals, and we didn't get them.
I mean, I think he's just excited to be back. So.
Oh yeah, he's definitely excited to be back. I'm sure everybody that wants to play is excited to be back. But I'm saying he had 3 quality scoring chances that maybe on a different night, different goaltender would have
go in. Yeah,
would have been goals. You're looking at a hat trick for Cizikas, but not tonight. We can't get it past Nedovic. So then you have our first goal finally, which is Bolduc. A weird kind of disaster in front of the net, which is fine. I'll take it, especially if it's the other way. And then the puck ends up on his stick. Doesn't hesitate. Hard slap shot, right in, goal. Great. And he needed that too, because that's his first goal of the season. I know I've discussed.
And we've said before, like me and you said like how we feel about him.
Yeah, because he's young. I don't know if he's necessarily proved himself, but he has gotten better as the season has gone on. I think him being with some veteran guys, because I know he's been paired up with Bortuzzo, I think it's good for him to kind of hear from those guys and see how things should be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he hasn't really found his play and where he fits on this team.
No, especially when you have Dobson and Romanov taking over.
Yeah, I mean, they're the number 1 pair, of course. But, you got to have consistency throughout. Yeah. So I think for him to find this spot and be able to fortunately be in the lineup consistently as of late with the injuries, he's got to take advantage.
Yeah. He's going to find ice time. He's going to find
he's going to get ice time until Pelech and Pulock come back. Then it's a whole new discussion.
And then it's different. That's the big one. Like
that's when he needs to really take advantage of this ice time. He's got to be smart. He did make a good defensive play, I think, a couple of minutes before his goal.
He's not bad.
He's young. He's not bad. He's young. Yeah. He's the youngest guy we got on our defensive pairs. But you got to give the guy a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. Has he proved that he's going to be a consistent, bottom pair defenseman?
I don't think so. I don't know yet.
I don't know. With our injuries, yeah, you got to put him in. But when everybody comes back, I don't know if you see him stay. I mean, if at that point when everybody's healthy, who's the odd man out? To me, it's got to be him because there's no reason to take Riley out other than the fact that you want to play youth. There's no reason to take Riley out. Riley's been good.
No, Riley's good.
So, what do you think? Would you go Riley or would you go with the youth?
I mean, if we want to win, I leave Riley in.
Yeah. We're not at a point where we're trying to rebuild. You know what I mean? And the season's over. Season's over. You let the young guys run, right?
Let them rock.
But,
I'm excited, man. Pulock and Pelech are back together. It's gonna make a big difference
when that happens. But right now,
this is what you got. You got Mayfield, you got Bulldog, and then Riley and Aho are fine. And then obviously, I'm not worried about the first defensive pair.
Yeah, but like I said, once everybody comes back and everyone's healthy, you don't split up Romanov and Dobson.
What Lambert does.
That is our if I'm Lambert, I don't split up that pair. I don't.
No,
I don't. I think they're gonna for the years to come.
Pelican, Pulock.
No, I'm saying you don't split up Romanov and Dobson.
Oh no.
Pelech and Pulock become the second pair because they had it split a lot of times during the season. They had both of those pairs split up. Romanov would be with Pulock. And Pelech would be with Dobson. I'm saying now at this point, I don't think you separate them. I think you put together like they are now.
What are we like 30 something? Like it's what it is.
Yeah, I don't think you split that up. So Bolduc gets that goal.
Yeah.
We need him to elevate his game. He does, at least for this game. And it's a great goal. Can't take it from him.
That's really
but then moving on for the rest of the game, there was that icing that was then stopped by that lone stick sitting on the ice that I thought the refs should have gotten off the ice pretty quick. It was there for a while, and the play went the other way. That's the time when you grab the stick and you get it off. And it ends up staying there. The icing, I don't know. Maybe the Schittsburg's paying the refs.
I don't know, man. After the mask, I mean, it kind of just.
I don't know. They're letting things slide. And then the weird penalty that you don't see very often, the face-off violation, delay a game bullshit. Fucking Horvat gets a game misconduct.
Horvat was in the box like twice last night.
Yeah, and he got thrown out at the end of the game. He got a 10-minute misconduct. So he was in the box once, and then he got a full 12 minutes to end the game. Once he got the 10 minutes on top. That was a weird thing. They should have just threw him out. There shouldn't have been a power play. It doesn't matter. They don't score anyway.
No, that's it. After the Bulldog,
but kind of we did look good with the extra man, pulling Sorokin. It was one of those things. It was only a matter of time.
Oh,
the puck kept going back in our zone.
Yeah,
and they took it and they buried it. But
that is what it is. I feel like it ends 3-1, but it really wasn't a 3-1 game, man.
It was a 2. Yeah, when it's something like that, it's a 2-1 game. It doesn't really matter at that point whether we lose 2-1, 3-1. You're trying to tie it up and at least steal a point.
Try to get over.
Trying to do,
man.
But yeah, so
that's what it is there. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens. We have a bounce back.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the one thing I have to talk about though with this game, right? The one thing that I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, Sorokin, right? So his numbers aren't really what you're expecting them to be for someone that ended up pulling up, being a Vezina finalist last season.
Saves?
No, I'm saying that his numbers compared to last season to this season.
He's like 92, like 92, I think he has. 93?
Yeah, his save percentage is a 9.12, and I think his goals against is 3.2 or 3.12 or whatever it is. His goals against are not good, but his save percentage is not bad. So right now, how do we feel about his play? Because I've been seeing a lot of the shit on Twitter early on in the season, saying that he is not what he used to be, or people are like he's overrated, he's this and that, saying some ridiculous shit. And I always said that it was too many shots coming our way, that it was only a matter of time that they're going to go in.
So
and
I'll say this: when you have, so our defense is like constantly changing. That's how I feel at first. Like our lines in the defense are constantly changing, and I mean that's just me, man. And you're taking a lot of shots on net. Like that 7-0 Pittsburgh loss, and you're taking 30-something shots. And you still have you still have the third period left. Like what? I don't know what else to expect. I think the lines are changing. You don't have Pellick, you don't have Pulak. Those guys we do need. I mean, and you have new guys. You have Riley. Bulldogs getting more ice time. I mean, you don't have to worry about Romanov and Dobson. But I don't know. You have a lot of changing. You have a lot of changes around him, and he gets left out to dry.
Yeah.
How many breakaways have you seen this season against him?
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, or a good goal. I mean, listen, even if like you do, you bench Soroki for a game, like you have Varlamov on the back, like that's a good starter somewhere else, like that. Like someone else would take the guy as a starter. So for
sure. But
I think both of them top 5. Like both those guys together are like a top 5, like top 5 goal. They're goalie pair, are like top 5. I say in the league. I mean, Sorokin's a fucking beast.
I mean, they were the top 10 last year, in my opinion. But it's one of those things where I think people are not used to Sorokin not making the save.
But I mean,
the one thing I did notice, especially last game, it got better as the game went on, but he wasn't aggressive.
It could be a confidence thing too, man. I mean, you got to think about it. Like, so we played them yesterday, right? So we played them yesterday. Yesterday is what's yesterday? Saturday, and we lost to them Sunday. So we lost to them Thursday, 7-0. You're playing the same lineup again. So that's going through, and you're also getting pulled. It's like, how many times have you seen Sorokin get pulled?
No, I get that.
So I feel like that's in the back of his head
for sure.
And you're at home
for sure.
And it's a New York crowd. You don't want to get fucking booed out. So I think maybe he wasn't going to be as aggressive. He's not going to come out of the crease as much. Maybe he's going to cover the puck more. And like I said, against the Capitals, he wasn't covering the puck. He was dishing it out, going behind the net, finding the defenseman. Pittsburgh or Schittsburgh, whatever you want to call it, a lot more conservative, especially after that big loss. It's a Metropolitan Division game. The standings are tight. It's like a 3-way tie right now for third. Everybody has like 40 points or 42 points, I think it is. Everybody's tied up. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, we lost. It sucks, but
yeah, I mean,
bounce back. We're on the fucking road, I think.
Yeah, we're on the road for a bit, but like I said, my concern is though that's been an aspect of his play that made him so good last season. He was not afraid to jump up on that play, step out of his crease, and make the save.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, he would definitely
make the target smaller. I mean, him turtling into the net isn't. I mean, you play conservative, whatever, but that's not always the best option.
Because then you're giving him a shot.
Yeah, and for him making that target smaller by coming out of the net was what he did best last season. He did get more aggressive as the game went on, but him not doing that and then him not being in the right place positionally is just stuff that it's basic shit that he got down last season. Whether it's confidence or not, it's noticeable. I mean, I gave him a pass a lot during the regular season, and I still think he's an elite goaltender. He's just in a funk, whatever it is.
Funk. I mean, I don't. They're playing a lot of games back to back. You're not bad, but they're playing a lot in a week. You know
I mean, but to me, like, I don't want to give him the excuses of that because that happens every season. He was a workhorse last season. Varlamov did not play much.
No, so didn't.
With all that, I mean, but with all that in mind, I mean, the team looks inherently the same. We do have injuries defensively. He's getting more shots at him for sure, but it's more of his demeanor than I'm worried about. It's him not being aggressive, and that's what he is. He's an aggressive goaltender. He does not care, and he's smart positionally, and those are things that are off. And it was really noticeable last game. He's not the reason we lost.
No,
we just couldn't.
No,
we couldn't bury it past. We just couldn't. We just couldn't. It was one of those nights. It didn't matter what we fucking did. We couldn't fucking score. I mean, Nelson and Zizekas alone had so many quality chances, and we just couldn't bury it. But it's concerning for sure moving forward. We end off the new year on a low note. We lose a game we definitely want to have back, and now we're not playing an intradivisional rival or intradivisional team for that matter until February 18th, which is the Stadium Series game against the Rangers. In Jersey. So,
we're on the road too.
We're on the we go against the Avalanche, and they're not easy. So,
do you have the schedule on you for the next few games or not?
I will pull it up. I will pull it up. But moving forward, it's mostly Western Conference and Atlantic.
If you look at the Pacific, that's all. If you look at the Pacific, man, they're good, dude.
Yeah,
like they're good. Like if we had I don't know, but if we had our points in their division, we'd be 5th or 6th.
Let me pull it up on here because I don't want to be rude and look at my phone while we're on the stream here. I don't want to do that. All right.
So, I know it's all West Coast.
Yeah, it's mostly West Coast, but then like I said, a lot of it towards the end
tough too.
Is the towards the end of least of the beginning of February is mostly. I think it's actually all. No, that's not true. There's 2 West Coast games in there. It's mostly the Atlantic Division. So the next 3 games we got Avalanche, Coyotes, Golden Knights.
Those are 3 hard games.
Nothing is going to be easy. Nothing is easy in this league in general, and I've said that for quite a while. This league, you cannot give teams time and space. We have done that way too often, and I just think it's the way that we've been playing is not Islanders hockey that we're used to, at least. Being conservative, having a strong penalty kill, we don't have it.
No,
we don't have
scoring on the power play though. He's happy.
Igor better than Sorokin. I just saw that at 5:08. I don't know. I'm gonna say eat shit. That's what I'll say. But especially last year. Last year, last year, Sorokin was definitely the better of the Russian goaltenders, and I thought he was the better goalie out of anybody in the league.
Yeah.
But this year he's definitely slacking.
Finalist, man. Last year,
Vezina finalist. Yeah, and this year he's definitely slacking. He's slacking, and the Rangers look good.
Rangers look really good, man. Rangers in Boston look really good.
They look good, but it's a long season, so hopefully we can turn things around.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, moving forward, it's all out of the division games, nothing interdivisional, and those are games that we can't take lightly either, because by the time February 18th rolls around, the standings might look very, very different, and there's no knocking anybody down in our division that we're going to be doing, at least on our own. We're going to have to hope for help from other teams, and we need to win these fucking games, at least the majority of them, if we can, in order to stay in it. Oh, you are muted. That's all right.
Oh, yep, there it is.
So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I mean, I definitely I'm worried about Sorokin, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see. See how we come out of this. It's gonna be tough on the road, especially on playing the teams on the West Coast. So
yeah, it's definitely gonna be rough.
See what the matchup's gonna look like, and then yeah, man.
Yeah, if I'm Lambert,
though, not as bad as like what we usually are. I mean, usually we're playing catch up. So, and usually like in February we're thinking, man, are we gonna make playoffs, or this is what we gotta do to make playoffs? Like we had this conversation last year. I think the last like 3 games, me and you were, I forgot what game we're at. Maybe it was a Capitals game. But we're like, oh, we have to win these 3 games, and we need these 3 teams to lose, and then maybe we'll squeeze in the playoffs. Like, yeah. I mean, even though, we had a couple of shitty, especially overtime losses, right? Having like 12 or 13 overtime losses. We're not in a bad spot. We're third in the Metro.
I mean, how we got a lot of those losses isn't good.
No, at least you get a great.
Giving up I think it's been 15. I don't know the exact number. 15 third period leads and then losing. When do we lose? Yeah. I mean, losing in overtime is fine. You get a point. But, like, it's still a fucking loss. I don't care what anybody says. We're getting a point out of it, but those are games we should have had back.
Yeah.
Those are 2 points we should have had, and we didn't have it, especially against San Jose. Oh, my God.
Oh, that was like
having that 4-1 lead and then losing 5-4. I mean, Jesus Christ.
It was a Hurricanes game. I think it was a Hurricanes game. We were up like
I was at that game.
That was
we were up another one. We were up 4-1.
Yeah.
And then we lost like in overtime.
5-4, I think, in overtime.
Yeah, so that was a long walk home to the Emerald fucking parking. So and then having to get in the car and fucking drive. That sucked.
That's it, man.
That definitely sucked. But all right. So I think this is a good place to end it, unless you got other things you want to talk about.
That's it, brother.
That's it. So,
that's it, man.
All right. Islanders, boys from Belmont boys, as we like to call them. Next game is tomorrow, 8:30 against at least Eastern Standard Time, 8:30. I don't know where everybody else is at, but for here it's 8:30 against the Avalanche, and we're hoping for a win there. But everything's going to be tough. There's nothing easy.
I think everybody else is playing this week too. So like the games, because I think everybody else is playing this week too to get the games evened out. Because we had a few games in hand with other guys in the Metro.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of games going on tomorrow. I know there's one game tonight. I think it's Seattle. Seattle's playing.
I think their jerseys are sick. You see their new jerseys?
Yeah, the Kraken's jersey. Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah,
they're nice. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, next game is tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. We can only be positive and believe as we're supposed to as Islander fans, even when shit is terrible. Shit's not awful. Shit's not great, but it's definitely not awful.
It'll be better. You're definitely at the end of the season, you're gonna want some games back.
We're gonna want a lot
Carolina
of games back.
You're gonna want that San Jose game.
We're gonna want a lot of those games back. If we can limit those third period disasters, that would be great.
Wins, instead of having 1 point.
But so let's keep moving on. Let's go Islanders, and
man.
We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for coming to the first episode of the Sunny Days at the Racetrack Hockey Show. All right.
Later, guys.
Good night, everybody.